Hi, Fabian Winter for Vanidades from Latin America. I have two questions for Cate. The first one, this is a family movie, so I wonder what you think about a mother who leaves behind her baby, and compared to you, who left behind Hollywood to raise your children in Australia.
Okay. Look, I think it was a singular challenge. Whenever one plays, a mother on film, there's a whole raft of judgment that comes. That as if a mother is a particular archetype. That every mother is the same, which of course is absolute rubbish. What? Please. Okay, but we did discuss a lot about that particular issue because, of course, there is a judgment on how women parent, and I think the film actually deals with it really beautifully and deeply and emotionally. That Valka's departure was sort of an accidental one, and that when she's reunited with her son, they discover that even though they've been estranged from one another, there's a deep sort of genetic understanding of the dragons, and that rebonds them. And America was saying before how many times she wept when she saw the film, and I think that there's a lot of there's an enormous amount of humour in the film, but there's an incredible amount of heart that comes from that core family unit of Hiccup and Valka and Stoic.
So, and the second question
but do I have a career in Hollywood anymore? Is that what you're asking? No, that's why I'm here.
Next question, please.
What about your children and the Oscar?
Do I have children?
No, what about your children and the Oscar? Do they get to play with the Oscar?
Every day, Mummy sits them down and I get my two Oscars out and I let them stroke them for 15 minutes before they go to school.
Now we know
if they're good.
Now we know it all. Thank you, Cate, for this brilliant answer, as always. Mike here, please.
Andrea Gil for W Radio Colombia. My question is for Cate. We usually don't see you in animated films. How was the experience of training your dragon, and how did you get involved in this project?
How do I train my dragon? I don't know if I want to answer that in public. Look, it's an incredible, it's a gift to be offered a part like this. My children and I adored the first film, and so when Dean ambushed me a few years ago at an awards ceremony, I was intrigued because it's, as an actor, you're used to using your body, your face, everything you can to kind of communicate stuff, and when you have to only do it through your voice, and you're doing it in tandem with the most extraordinary state-of-the-art animation. It's a real. I found it an intriguing ride over the last 3.5, 4 years to watch the character evolve. Sort of quite separate from me, and then how you can enhance and work with what the animators are doing. And I didn't actually get to work with the other actors. I actually acted opposite Dean most of the time, which was very interesting.
Question here, please.
I'm David from China. First of all, I want to say, Mr. Blanchett, you sound beautifully in the movie.
Oh, thank you.
And my question
and it's
is for
Mrs. Blanchett. Sorry, not Mr. Blanchett. I've played a few men, but
sorry about that. My question.
Hello.
Can you stand up, please?
Yes, I'm gonna try. Hello, I'm Ernesto Garrat from El Mercurio, Chile. I have two questions. A short one for Mrs. Cate Blanchett. I just want to know, how could you train to another actor in order to performance with the voice only? What advice could you give an actor in an animated feature like this? Because I think maybe it's different to another regular movie. And I want to ask you, to Mr. Jeffrey Katzenberg, if you could give me your opinion after these almost 20 years of a kind of golden age in animation. What is the future of this kind of films? Thank you.
Well, I had the gift of having seen the first film as an audience member, so I knew that the extraordinary, exhilarating world that I was entering into. And the thing with Dean and Bonnie is that every single time, and I'm sure it was the same for everybody, is that we'd spend an hour catching up on where the animation was at, and they'd show you the atmospheres and the landscapes and the sketches, and we'd talk through all of that stuff as you would rehearse an ordinary film. And so in a way it's just that I suppose it was a bit like, what's that? I can't even speak English. What is it when you have that? Forget it. I'm not even going to finish that sentence.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Your French is perfect, Jeffrey.
I wish my English was. But you'd see you were working in tandem with the animators, and it's just that you were having to inhabit really what the animators were doing, and sometimes something might come up almost like a mistake, or and I think what you did was extraordinary. Your voice is so amazing, and you could tell that the animators were working with the surprising things that you were doing vocally. So sometimes it's led by the animation, and sometimes it's led by the actors, and it was a real dance that Bonnie and Dean made sure that we were kept up to speed before we even opened our mouths.
From Bangladesh, so my question is to Mrs. Cate Blanchett. I think, have you heard the name of Bangladesh?
Yes, I have.
So thank you. I think you are hugely popular in Bangladesh. But just 3 days ago, before coming to Cannes, I was watching your movie Blue Jasmine with my wife. So, and now you are here with a 3D film. So that's a huge change, I think. And as an actress, it's a lot of diversity. So what do you think? You love to deal with diversity, from Elizabeth to a good German, from like Hobbit to 3D, like How to Ride Your Dragon.
Well, I think every time you make a film of a different genre with a different director, a director with a very particular vision in the way that Dean had a very particular vision, you have the potential to reach a different audience, and I think that's, for me, very exciting.
Okay, thank you. And I'm inviting you to Bangladesh, if you can come to Bangladesh for some
I'll give you my number.
reason. I'll get a good impression from you. Thank you.
Can I stay with you and your wife?
Thank you.
I'll train her dragon.
Thank you. And how do you feel like training your dragon?
Beg your pardon?
How do you like training
We
your
should
dragon?
probably have this conversation in private later.
And you love riding dragon?
Do I like? Anyway, I think this is a children's film.
Hi, Malin Rose from Sweden. I have a question for Cate. Here I am.
Oh, hi.
I could notice you answered very polite and funny, but how often do you get fed up by the questions of being both a woman and a mother and having a career?
It's certainly a question that never, I don't think probably Jeffrey has ever been asked that question. That question is only ever directed towards women. How do you balance, how do you have it all? And, I think we live in a world where there's still not equal pay for equal work, and I just don't understand in 2014 why that's not the case. And I'm not necessarily talking about the industry in which we work, it's every industry. And I think that, the things that have been said about, women, not only in African countries, but in the English-speaking world, I think is absolutely appalling, and I feel like sometimes we're back in the Middle Ages. But, I'm an actress at a film festival, and I can cope with those questions. I'm a big girl, but it is, it's still surprising. We're still asking those questions.
ARD. First of all, congrats to everybody up there. You guys did really a hell of a kick-ass animation movie. It's a huge piece of entertainment. Very good.
Yes. I would say that.
Then, congrats in special for Cate. 2 days ago, you turned 25. So did you already celebrate with your colleagues, like bought them a beer or something? And what does aging mean for you as an actress? And a quick one to Kit Harington.
We're talking about boring questions that get asked to women. And I realised that I've got the same birthday as Sofia Coppola, so I think it's a nice thing.
Nice. So what was the
And to
question for
Kit
Kate,
Harington, a
please?
short one, yes. Kit, how
old are you?
Yes, by the way.
Sarah Nabil from Egypt. My question is for Kat. In the early 90s, you shared an Egyptian movie with Ahmed Zaki. It's named Caboria. If you remember this experience, we need to talk with you about this small role in Egyptian movies. And I want to know what's your favorite kind of movies? Animations, actions, historic, romantic. What's your favorite kind of movies as actress? Thank you.
I'm very eclectic in terms of my, I love a big blockbuster as much as the next person. But then, I mean, the wonderful thing about festivals is they often showcase films that, of a sort of smaller, more particular concern, which I also really love. But since having children, I think I weep at the drop of a hat. So, no, I love a good weep in the cinema and a good laugh.
Question here.
Hello, le Grand Journal de Canal+, bravo.
Grand Journal, Canal+.
You know we are in France, and my question is about Marion Cotillard. I know you like her, but honestly, who is the best between you and her?
Oh my God!
There's no competition. Marianne, hands down. I think she's one of the world's great actresses. I mean, from the first few frames of La Vie en Rose, I just thought I've never seen anything like this, and then to see her in play sort of comic roles, and then I was blown away again by her in Rust and Bone. And we share the same agent at CAA, much to my chagrin, because of course, I think she's a genius, and I can't wait to see her Lady Macbeth. Are you allowed to say Macbeth? No, we're not in the theatre.
We're not in the theatre.
Angela Cox from Channel 7 Australia. My question's for Kate. Forgive me for straying, but Cannes is all about celebrating diversity in film. We hear voices from so many countries. You're such a supporter of Australian theatre and film. What are your thoughts about the government cutting $38 million from Screen Australia? I've spoken with filmmakers who are worried about what that'll do to the industry. Are you concerned?
I think there's a lot of concerns in the budget generally, not just for the film industry, but it's not only a potent industry that feeds Australia at home, but culture generally for any nation is a piece of soft diplomacy. It's a way that we understand the way the mindset of a country works. So it's a huge economic driver at home, and I think it's very short-sighted.
Question here, please.
Hello, Jack Mulvin from The Times. For a question for you, Kate, there was a moment last year at the award ceremonies. Sorry, I'm over here. There was a moment last year at the award ceremonies where someone was doing a camera pan of you, and you bent down and said, "Do you do this to the guys?" Do you think that red carpets have become...
What were they doing to me?
Well, they were doing a full body shot going down.
Well, I mean, Jay gets that all the time, doesn't he?
I do.
But I was going to...
I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's my life.
I was going to say...
Just a piece of ass.
Have red carpets become the new sort of beauty pageant? Are they taking the place of Miss World of the 1970s?
What, am I Miss Australia? Well, you've got America, so I guess the competition is on tonight.
Absolutely.
Look, I mean, it's important to remember why we're all here. And the wonderful thing about Cannes is that, and sort of what Jeffrey was referring to before, it understands event. And part of the event is dressing up, and it's fabulous. But when it becomes sort of a piece of, you feel like a piece of merchandise, then that's slightly different. But certainly, I mean, I have always had an extraordinary time here, and I love dressing up. But it's a little bit rude to look a woman up and down like that, and it's when a camera does it, it's slightly annoying.
Question here, please.
Hello, I'm Pierpaolo from Italy. Question to Cate Blanchett.
Oh.
I would like to ask you, since this is a fairy tale, I recently spoke to Benedict Cumberbatch, and he told me that when he was a kid, his parents read Narnia to him, and Cuarón, for example, read screenplays to his baby. What did they read you as fairy tales, your parents, and what do you read to your kids? Mm-hmm. And do you still believe in these things in the era of application and digital whatever and stuff? Do you do that?
Oh, every night. I mean, my husband's a writer. but my eldest son has taken. I find it very, very difficult to, I don't know about you guys, to read screenplays because they come alive in conversation with the director. You know, when you hear what the backdrop is going to be, what the ensemble is going to be. I mean, and it was such a, you know, as soon as you said who was going to be, you know, obviously who were going to do the voices for this, it suddenly became very exciting. But my eldest son, who's just turned 12, loves reading screenplays, and he said to me a couple of years ago, he said, Mum, you know, when are you going to do a blockbuster? You know, and I said, honey, this might be it. But he's very, very good at reading them. So he actually loves reading the screenplays, and he said, I think you should do this one, or this one, or this one. And he was very pleased I was doing How to Train Your Dragon.
Well, I think it's definitely going to be a blockbuster, considering the reactions today, and of course the love that this franchise has really gathered with, as you said, the television, the film, everything is coming together. So thank you all for bringing your magic to Cannes. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. For doing DreamWorks with us.
Thank you, Beatrice. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
I wouldn't assume so. Yeah. Thank you.